if you haven't seen the Lions, now you have, and the rest of the NFC has to be a little nervous there. David Montgomery rushed for 121 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's one of 5 players since 1948 to rush for at least 120 yards, 3 touchdowns against the Packers. The other players, Dalvin Cook, Rob Kelly, Earl Campbell, and Walter Payton.
Oh. Perfect for a Friday. Perfect way to start a Friday.
Stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day. This is the stat of the day.
So the Lions have been a doormat for a long time, haven't won a divisional title in over 2 decades. And the 14-point win at Lambeau is certainly a big statement game. And you might come away with, man, the Lions are better than I thought. Or the Packers, okay, Jordan Love not quite ready yet. Packers, offensive line, not good. But look at how the Lions were built. If you go back and March of 2021, the Lions trade Matthew Stafford for Jared Goff and some draft picks. The draft picks turned into Jamison Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, and a few others. They in 2021, they got Penny Sewell with the 7th pick overall. In 2022, they took Aiden Hutchinson with the 2nd pick overall. Those are impact players. And there was talk that, and I heard this from a reliable source, that Detroit was looking to take Tua. And they decided not to. And they were going to go with Jared Goff. But they were looking at, and, you know, you go back to Jared Goff and the Rams. It feels like it was, man, the Rams dragged Jared Goff to the Super Bowl. I know that they didn't play well. They scored 3 points in the Super Bowl. But give me the numbers of Jared Goff that year, the year that the Rams went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Patriots.
Jared Goff was 13-3 that season as a starter. He was only 24 years old. 4,700 yards, 32 touchdowns, 12 picks.
Yes.
Second in the NFL in touchdown passes.
What team wouldn't take that right now? Except for maybe the Chiefs, maybe the Chargers, maybe the Bengals. But any other team is going to – imagine Dak Prescott. If you could plug those numbers in with Dak Prescott, you'd be like, are you kidding me? He's Roger Staubach. But Jared Goff played well that season. But then he became sort of the scapegoat. And then they realized they needed to upgrade to Matthew Stafford. Okay, it worked out. But I think when Jared Goff went to the Lions, it was like, all right, you take him. And he's played well. He played well last year. I mean, he had 29 touchdown passes. Who wouldn't sign up for 29 and 7 interceptions? But there's nothing fancy about him. He doesn't do anything remarkable where you go, wow, did you see that? Did you see him use his legs? Oh, that pass. That's what we're caught up with now. It's like, style points. He doesn't get style points. He's got a great running game. I mean, they know what they do well. They can run the football. They got a good offense and defensive line. And if you go back to the Niners, good offense, defensive line. The Eagles, good offense, defensive line. If you want success, sustainable success, you got to start there. The Bengals didn't get good and go to a Super Bowl until they got an offensive line for Joe Burrow. The Colts never got a good offensive line for Andrew Luck. And then when they did, he retired. So you got to have that. And Detroit has that. And they got a coach that they believe in, and they were by far the better team last night. Yeah, Paul.
Also, Jared Goff is a bargain. For 29 touchdowns, he cost you $24 million last year. Yeah. That's about half of what the big-time quarterbacks make.
I mentioned Jared Goff. He had this to say after the big win last night at Lambeau.
We really dominated the whole game, and it's what we expect to do. We have a good team, and we have a good offense, a good defense, a good special teams. We got good skill players. We got good line on both sides. Like we should do that at times when things are clicking, like they were in the second quarter, like you mentioned. But yeah, it's something we're comfortable with, and we know who we are, but got to keep doing it. It's hard. Every week's gonna be hard. Next week will be hard. So got to keep going like this.
Okay. Matt LaFleur, the Packers head coach, not in a good mood after this question.
What happens when you have to cause a first half like that where you got nothing?
I mean, we suck, Pete. I mean, we got our kicked. If I knew, it wouldn't have happened.
Matt, they didn't blitz until the
That's
last.
a BS question, man.
No, it's not. What happened in the first half? There's a trend happening, Coach. Against the Saints, you were down 17-0. Against the Lions, you're down 27-3. Coach, what's the problem? I mean, may not like it, but that's a fair question to ask there of Coach. Absolutely. Yes,
you saw it, Joe. We got off to a slow start.
I got one question.
Okay.
I'm watching the Packers game. I've always heard that the Packers is the toughest ticket in sports. It's unavailable. You got to wait 20 years.
They're season tickets.
But even game to week, I would assume there's nothing available. It's just you can't get a ticket. How do all the Lions fans get in last night?
Because the Packer fans sell their tickets.
That seems almost sacrilegious in Green Bay. I guess I didn't think that the Packers fans would ever sell home tickets. And that was an onslaught of Lions fans. I mean, thousands, not a couple.
Yeah, but the Lions realize, now they have the hammer.
Right.
Now they're the dog and the Packers are the fire hydrant. Now there's reason to travel. Now they want to see this. Now they know they have something special. If you're a Green Bay fan, you're like, okay, I hope we're competitive this year. The Lions are looking to be more than just being competitive. They're looking at, a deep run in the playoffs. Look, I don't know what you could sell it for. I don't know what the secondary market is. But I'm going to guess that everybody's got a price here. All right. Here is Dan Campbell on seeing the Lions fans on the road.
It's pretty cool. We got a fan base. I mean, it's what you always think of, man, a player and a coach, you go on the road, man, no matter where I've been, the Steelers, the Raiders, all these teams that have these and man, you're starting to notice it. It's like, oh, okay, here we go, man. To your point, we go out to Arrowhead. There's a big fan base. We come out here, man. I was, and we remember last year, but you look and you see them, and once again, early in the fourth, late third, you can start hearing them, and they're overpowering the stadium. So it's awesome. It's awesome. You feel like there's a little piece of home no matter where you go.
He's right. You could hear him. And the fans were booing the Packers after first half performance. I don't know how that helps. Right? Imagine if you did your job poorly and then everybody started booing you. I mean, we do that sometimes with Fritzy.
Yeah.
If he has a bad limerick or a bad pun.
But how awkward would that be, especially like during surgery or something, and now the guy's bleeding and something like that, and the people around you go, boo, what are you doing? You're going to kill this guy.
Terrible. With a scalpel.
Where'd you get your degree from?
But how does that help? I know you're frustrated, but how does that help? All right? You want to convey your anger or your passion. I'm not putting up with this. I don't think the Packers are going, you know what? Chill out. Big deal. We're down 27-3 at halftime. They did come back a little bit, but yeah, the booing, I just don't understand that. Yeah.
I don't even know where you get off booing as a Packers fan. Sorry you're not 13-3 this year already. Like, you guys have been on a pretty good run. It's like, sorry you can't take 4 bad games. Good grief.
Yeah. But do you take away the Lions are for real, or Jordan Love and the Packers have a little ways to go? Like if I said you're going to take away one of those two from last night's game, it depends on if you skew positive or negative.
Kind of hard to say the Lions are for real still.
Ooh.
It's kind of hard to still say that.
How can? Oh, it's because we're not used to saying that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They've been so not real for so long
yeah.
that it's like, they're for real.
All right.
It goes up when you say it.
Oh, your voice does?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Dan Campbell, by the way, good voice. Yeah, it's got a good coaching voice there.